Good afternoon, students. Myself, Professor Samreen. In this semester, I am going to take Automata Theory subject. Here, Automata Theory subject is very easy subject compared to other subject, and it is a scoring subject also. Here, you are going to get 3 to 4 questions in gate from this subject. Right? Here, your subject code is PC503IT, and you are going to get 3 credits. If you are going to clear this subject, you are going to get 3 credits for this one, right? Now, automata theory subject is divided into 5 units. Unit 1 is there. In unit 1, complete automata. What do you mean by automata? Introduction to finite automata, central concept of automata theory. What do you mean by automata theory? You are going to learn all those things. And finite automata, and inform a picture of finite automata, deterministic finite automata, non-deterministic finite automata, all those things here. Deterministic finite automata means DFA. Non-deterministic finite automata means NDFA. Yeah, automata. What are the applications of automata? Finite automata with epsilon transitions. How to you are going to learn how to remove the epsilon transitions. See here, this is epsilon transitions are there. How you are going to remove this epsilon transitions? You are going to learn in first unit, right? What do you mean by strings? What are the different types of languages? Which automata? Here in first unit, which automata? Finite automata is going to use which language? And what do you mean by strings? What do you mean by language? All those things you are going to learn in first unit. And here from first unit you are going to get one LAQ. Most probably here, what do you mean by DFA? How to convert the NDFA to DFA? This type of question you are going to get in this first unit. Here this subject is completely mathematical subject. Maximum 80% will be the mathematical problems will be there. You have to solve those problems. Here you are going to get complete marks, full marks for this subject, right? Here in first unit you are going to learn what do you mean by finite automata, what are the concepts of finite automata, what do you mean by DFA, what do you mean by NDFA, how to convert from NDFA to NFA, what are the epsilon transitions, how you are going to remove the epsilon transition from NFA, and then conversion of NFA with epsilon moves to without epsilon moves, and conversion of NFA with epsilon moves to DFA. This type of things are you are going to learn in unit 1. Unit 1 is going to cover the finite automata. Next is regular expressions, and second unit is regular expressions and languages. Here already you learn what do you mean by regular expressions. Regular expressions means here generally, here what are the regular expressions? Ax plus by plus c, these are the regular expressions. These general regular expressions are there. Now here, by using this regular expression, now you are going to convert this regular expressions to finite automata, right? This how you are going to convert this regular expression to finite automata. What are the different applications of regular expressions? What are the various types of algebraic laws? Here there are 18 to 12 laws are there. Here 12 algebraic laws are there. Here you have to remember those things. By using those things only, those laws only, you are going to convert the finite automata, you are going to convert the regular expression to finite automata. Yeah, from the second unit also you are going to get one question from how you are going to convert the regular expression to finite automata, right? Third one is the properties of, here second unit is divided into 2 parts. First one is the this is the completion of complete thing. Here how you are going to convert this regular expression to finite automata, right? What are the various types of algebraic class? By using this algebraic class only, you are going to get the regular expressions. You are going to get the finite automata for the regular expressions. Whereas in this case, properties of regular language, second part is properties of regular languages. In properties of regular languages, here this is the properties of regular languages. Here in this case, you are going to check whether the given regular language, whether the given language is regular or not. How you are going to check means, here you have to construct a DFA for the given regular language, and if you are going to reach the final state, then only you are going to say that that particular language is going to be accepted by the DFA or NDFA. Right, here if that particular language is accepted by the DFA, then only that particular language is a regular language. Here this is the second one is the closure properties of regular languages. Here we are having 5 to 6 closure properties are there. For the closure properties, you have to draw the transition diagram. Here in this case, here transition diagrams are very important. Transition diagrams are very important. For every transition diagram, you are going to write the transition table. You must learn what you mean by transition diagram, what you mean, how to construct the transition table for the given transition diagram. Right, here by using this transition table and transition diagram, you are going to check whether the given language is regular or not. Next one is, in the second unit, you are going to learn about equivalence and minimization of automata. Here for equivalence means you are going to check whether the two DFS are equivalent or not, and by minimization of automata means how you are going to minimize the given finite automata. We are having various types of properties. By using those properties, we are going to minimize the finite automata. In the second unit, in second unit, you are going to learn about what do you mean by regular expression and language, how that particular language is going to accepted by the DFA, and you are going to check whether the language is regular language or not. And here you are going to learn about the decision properties of regular languages and minimization of finite automata. Right, now come to third unit. In third unit is very important. In third unit, you are going to learn about what you mean by context-free languages and context-free grammar. Right, here language means here in first unit you are going to learn about what you mean by language. Right, now whenever here in this context-free grammar, we are having various types of symbols are there. V, T, P, S. 4 symbols are there. Here by using these 4 symbols, we are going to defining the context-free grammar. By using these 4 symbols, we are going to defining the context-free grammar. Right, here if any grammar is going to satisfy the properties of context free, then only that particular grammar is a context free language. Here in the third unit, we are going to learn about what you mean by parse tree. Already you learn in data structure what you mean by parse tree. Now, what are the applications of parse tree? Next is what ambiguity in grammars and languages. This is also very important topic. Here in third unit, 2 parts are there. Third unit is divided in 2 parts. First one is the context-free grammar and languages. Second one is the properties of context-free languages. In the properties of context-free languages, here normal forms are there. Normal forms are very important. Here normal forms are very important. There are 2 types of normal forms are there. Here one is CNF, second one is GNF. Here in CNF, GNF, these two are the very important concepts. From these 2 concepts, you are going to get one LAQ. From these tools. Here what are the decision properties and closure properties of CFL you are going to learn in the third unit. Here in third unit, important topics are what do you mean by parse tree, what do you mean by ambiguous grammar. Next one is the what are the different types of normal forms. Normal forms are CNF and GNF. In detail I'll explain. Then what do you mean by pumping lemma? See here, this is pumping lemma topic is there. Pumping lemma is also very important. Pumping lemma is different from for languages, and pumping lemma is different for grammar. Yeah, pumping lemma is different for languages, pumping lemma is different for grammar. We are going to learn in second unit. You are going to learn about pumping lemma for grammar. In third unit you are going to learn for pumping lemma for this one, languages. Right, from the third unit also, most probably from third unit you are going to get one or two LAQs and two SAQs, short questions. Now fourth unit is the push down automata. This is where here in GATE also you are going to get the question from this one, push down automata. What do you mean by push down automata? Here what is the definition and equivalence between here, see equivalence of PD and CFG. Here you are going to learn how you are going to convert the CFGs to PDAs. See what is CFG? CFG is context free grammar. Now you are going to convert the CFG to PDA, push down automata, right? Here generally push down automata, here this CFG is having 4 tuples, whereas push down automata is having 7 tuples. Here you are going to convert the CFG to push down automata. Here there are two types of push down automatas are there: deterministic push down automata and non-deterministic push down automata. See here, deterministic push down automata and non-deterministic push down automata. These are the two topics are there. Here you are going to learn about, in fourth unit you are going to learn about deterministic push down automata and non-deterministic push down automata. Here in your syllabus, non-deterministic push down automata is not present, but you have to learn what do you mean by non-deterministic push down automata, how you are going to convert this non-deterministic push down automata to deterministic push down automata. Right here, and one more thing, how you are going to convert the CFGs to PDAs. Fourth unit is completely related to push down automata. Now unit 5 is Turing machines. Here Turing machines is a very important concept. You are going to get the different types of questions in Turing machines. Here how you are going to construct the Turing machine, how you are going to construct the Turing machine, right? Here construction of Turing machine and programming techniques for Turing machine, extension to the Turing machine, what are the restricted Turing machines are there, unrestricted Turing machines are there. Depending upon the Turing machine, you are going to check whether the problem is a decidable problem, undecidable problem. Here mostly here post correspondence problem is there. Post correspondence problem is very important problem, right? Here you are going to check whether the two languages are equivalent or not by using this post correspondence problem, right? Here in Turing machines, here what type of problems are going to be solved by using the Turing machines, what are the various types of Turing machines, what are the various types of programming techniques to construct the Turing machines. All those things are going to cover in the fifth unit, right? See here in first unit you are going to learn the introduction to automata, what do you mean by grammar, what do you mean by languages, and what do you mean by DFA, NDFA, how you are going to convert the NDFA to DFA, what do you mean by epsilon, NDFA with epsilon transition, right? How you are going to convert this NDFA to DFA. All those things you are going to learn in the first unit. In second unit is going to be covered in all the regular expressions, right? In regular, what do you mean by regular expression, how you are going to convert this regular expression to finite automata, what are the various types of algebraic laws for the regular expressions, what are the properties of regular expressions, what are the closure properties of the regular expressions. All those things you are going to learn in the unit 2. One more thing, how to minimize the finite automata you are going to learn in the second unit, right? In third unit, context free grammar. Here third unit is very important. Here you are going to learn about the complete grammar, what are the application grammar, what do you mean by parse tree, how you are going to check whether the given grammar is ambiguous grammar or not, what are the different types of normal form, CNF, GNF. Here what are the, how you are going to convert from CNF to GNF, GNF to CNF, what are the various types of decision properties you are going to learn in the third unit. Now unit fourth is push down automata. This is a single topic, but here in push down automata you are going to learn about here what is the definition of push down automata, what type of language is going to accepted by the push down automata, equivalence of push down automata, equivalence of push down automata and context free grammar, what do you mean by deterministic push down automata and non-deterministic push down automata, how you are going to convert the deterministic push down automata to non-deterministic push down automata to deterministic push down automata. All those things you are going to learn in unit 4. Now unit 5, fifth unit is going to cover about the Turing machines, how you are going to convert, how you are going to construct the Turing machines for the given regular expressions, what are the various types of programming techniques, and what do you mean by undecidable problems. You are going to decide what do you mean undecidable problems, post correspondence problems, all those things you are going to learn in the unit 5. Up to here clear? Up to here unit 5th unit is coming. After completion of the unit 5 you are going to able to learn here design and use of deterministic, non-deterministic and epsilon transition finite state automata, and illustrate the state transition and symbol of input words, and establish the corresponding languages of automata. Already in first unit you are going to learn about DFA, NDFA, how you are going to construct the DFA, how you are going to convert the NDFA with epsilon moves to epsilon. Already you learn in the first unit now after completion of this syllabus you are going to learn, you are able to perform the input words and establish the corresponding languages of the automata. You are going to write the what type of language is going to be accepted by the automata you are going to learn. Next is the analyze regular expressions and use laws and establish the corresponding regular language. Prove a given language is regular or otherwise. Use closure and decision properties of regular language. Already I explained that. Here what do you mean by regular? In unit 2 you are going to learn about what do you mean by regular expressions, how you are going to convert this regular expression to DFA, how you are going to convert the regular expression to NDFA with epsilon moves, NDFA without epsilon moves. Here in this case you are going to use various types of closure properties and decision properties you are going to use for this one here to convert the regular expression to DFA or NDFA, right? Here second unit you are going to learn this. Next one is analyze ambiguity, develop context free grammar, parse trees, establish the context free language, use closure and decision properties of regular language. This is the third unit. In third unit you are going to learn about the context free grammar now. Here you are going to analyze whether the given grammar is ambiguous grammar or not. You are able to decide that that particular grammar is the ambiguous grammar or not. I will discuss what do you mean by ambiguous grammar, what is the context free grammar in detail while I am going to explain the third unit, right? Here you are going to draw the parse tree, you are going to establish the context free language. Whenever you are going to get any context free grammar you are going to learn about what do you mean by context free language. All those things you are able to learn, you are able to compute after the completion of the third unit. Right? Now design the push down automata and how that particular push down automata is going to work, how that particular equivalence between push down automata and context free grammar, all those things you are going to learn in the fourth unit. So this is the fourth course outcome of your automata theory subject. Fifth unit is going to be considered the Turing machine. So yes, here in fifth unit you are going to learn about complete concepts of the Turing machine, design the Turing machine and its working, implement the programming techniques for the Turing machines. Here what type of different types of input you are going to give for the Turing machine, how you are going to check whether the given language is going to be accepted by the Turing machine or not, what are the different types of moves, left move, right move is there in the Turing machine, how you are going to decide various types of modes in the Turing machine, and you are going to analyze the extended and restricted Turing machine for computational abilities and establish the recursively enumerable language of the Turing machine and analyze the undecidable problems. What do you mean by undecidable problem? All those things you are going to learn. These 5 are the course outcome. Here 5 course outcomes are there. Why? Because here 80 subject is divided into 5 units. After completion of every unit, you are able to perform these points, right? Now suggested readings are Introduction to Automata Theory and Computation, 3rd edition, Pearson Education 2009 book, and Rajiv Magna, Jeffrey, or the Ullman. Here this is very important book. Here Ullman is the basic book. Next one is the Introduction to Languages and Theory of Computation, 3rd edition, Tata McGraw-Hill book is there. You are going to you can refer these 2 books for these 5 units. Automata theory is there. Here what do you mean by automata theory? What here, see here, undecidability. In first unit you are going to learn about finite state machine. In second unit you are going to learn about regular expression. Third is context free grammar. Fourth one is Turing machine. Fifth one is undecidability. Here you are going to check whether the given language is accepted or rejected by the given machine or not. You are going to decide. After completion of the fifth unit, you are able to decide whether the given language is accepted by the finite automata or not. How to construct the Turing machine for the given language. All those things are going to be present in 5 units. Right? This is the introduction class. From next class onwards, I am going to start the syllabus. Right? Thank you.